Hello, and how you're doing today? And I'm back with another movie review. Now, this is a movie I randomly found on Flix HD, which I did not know that came out, and which I didn't know was recent. That is VHS 85. Not a lot of people know about this movie franchise. I mean, there's one problem I got with this is that the VHS 85 came after VHS 99. They should have put in numerical order. It doesn't matter. The VHS movies, if none of you have seen them, they are wild. I mean, I know the found footage bit. You may think, oh, it's just crappy actors. The acting's actually pretty decent for a cheap found footage movie. Um, the acting's pretty good for that, and there's a lot of bloodiness, violence, and all that stuff. It escalates pretty quickly. It's like I mean, the other VHS movies were my favorite, but this one here, there's something about this which made it. There wasn't as much as it was in the other ones, but it's still pretty wild. I thought a few minutes into the movie, I thought, oh, it's not really that good as the other ones. This one had like a 1980s theme to it. The movie is just came out, but it's got a 1980s theme to it. That's what they did. I don't know why. It did work. Don't get me wrong. I'm not into whole 1980s movies, but this is a theme for it. So the movie technically wasn't made 1980s. It was technically made this year. So it's pretty interesting though how this movie, and therefore this movie escalates, and there's not much details I could talk about. I'm going to talk about quickly different types of tapes in this. Basically, it's about different types of tapes that show different types of horror to it and whatnot. You know what I mean anyway. The first tape, now, in the other VHSs, they showed people actually viewing different tapes and what the tapes are and the titles and whatnot. But in this one, they just play different tapes, right? So it starts off with these five, six, but it's a group of people going to the woods, and there's a lake there, and they go camping and whatnot, and there's like an orange squirt gun. I'm gonna mention why that's important in a minute, the orange squirt gun bit, and they go into a lake. I think four of them go into the lake, and they hear people shooting at them. They hear somebody shooting at them, and they know where it's coming from, and it's like, no, all these people got shot, and mysteriously enough, after a while, these people start, the people that were in the water actually mysteriously didn't die from the gunshots. They were shot pretty a lot. And then they find that two of their friends are missing and they're gone or whatever, and then they find that they're dead and stuff like that. And there was a symbol in the caravan, which was also significant to what I'm going to tell you later on in this in this review. So that was just that part of the movie that, so you think, oh, they're not continuing to find these people. That's where it gets interesting after that. So in the second, I mean, and then it cuts to this, somebody talking about them, and someone narrating some workers in a lab, talking about this creature that morphs, which I don't know what this creature even is. I think it's related to all the other tapes as well. That's just how this movie usually works. Sometimes it is linked to one of the tapes and whatnot. And then in the second movie, the second tape, it showed Spanish people. It's all in Spanish in the second tape. So don't worry, it's not some error at that point. It was just changed to Spanish. It's Spanish people talking this one. And I find this one quite interesting. I thought it's just an earthquake. This movie escalates, I'm telling you. It gets from A to B pretty quickly. I'm telling you, it's quite a wild movie. Not even Saw was this wild. This has got traps. This is wild, these VHS movies. And this one, it shows some Spanish people. And then talking Spanish and whatnot. As the earthquake happens, they go out and I think, what do you call them? Like I wouldn't call them firefighters, but they're people that rescue people basically, right? And they got helmets and whatnot, the basics. And then they go down the one, and then they hear some sort of creature, and then the ceiling starts cracking. They're a few floors down. There is a survivor from it took place in a news station. There's a guy survivor from the news station and stuff like that. And then they get into like this into deep inside underground or something. There's like this cave, or there is some sort of area that, and it's got like a statue, and it's got symbols or stuff. It feels like their tribe or something like that. And they see this worker getting like possessed. Like he starts breaking his neck, cracking his neck and whatnot, and starts having like a crowbar and push it into himself and all that stuff. And then this statue behind him starts like taking him, because he did kill two other people. And then the statue starts taking. The statue is kind of like a four-armed god or something like that. That's alive, and it just cuts to another scene where this guy's filming or whatnot. And then this woman pees out from nowhere and starts like, stabbing him or whatnot. And then she undresses herself and stuff like that. And yeah, she gives one of the organs. She gives one of his organs to this statue. But I don't know what was going on. This movie makes me ask questions like, what the hell is going on? What is this? What's happening? And then I'm pretty sure, I think this is the tape that came afterwards. Obviously, the laboratory part, they just still keep talking about the creature and they still find what's going on. That bit's good. That's been not necessarily significant, but the ending part is you think might be a tiny bit humorous. But yeah, so the third tape I'm pretty sure is the family, and the family is there's a family around. They're gathering, and they're all holding up the same symbol as it said in the caravan. But before all that, before they start, before their party begins, basically, there's a kid that's outside. Well, it's a kid. I don't know whose parents belong. Whose kid that is. But the kid had the orange squirt pistol gun. That's significant because then you realize, hold on a minute, they have that. I recognize that squirt gun from someone. It belongs to the people in the group of people in the caravan. So that makes me think, oh, it's linked. Interesting. And then the family start talking about, we're going to celebrate. This is how they celebrate. So they put on a tape and it shows the girl that I think is the daughter of I don't know whose woman it is. I don't know, to be honest. And it shows basically the woman that the girl trying the cassette tape, and then it shows her holding a sniper rifle. That is significant as well because it shows her recording the deaths of what she did to these people. So you can see I like how they link it together. This movie sort of links the tapes together, or some of a unique twist to them as well. And these are that symbol, and then the police come, and yeah, what they do is that they get all the guns and they shot the police, blah blah, and then at the end, the woman that was showing the woman that showed the tape, apparently she came out after a few shots, blah blah, and then the fourth tape, it shows the detective going around seeing like, two murders and stuff like that, of people getting chopped, the basics basically. But then he got this tape 2 days prior the murders were happening. So the murders happened 2 days, even though it happened 2 days after. It's weird. Trust me, this movie gets weirder as well by each time, the longer you watch it. And then they bring this boy that's been posting these tapes, but he wasn't the one that did it. He said he dreamed about it. Obviously, the detective and the dad didn't believe him. Well, the dad obviously said it runs in the family, and blah blah. He said, oh, it runs in the family. His cousin had it. My sister had it. I was like, okay, linking it together here, and I thought it was a detective. Basically, I literally thought it was, and it turns out it was a dad that did it. I mean, and then because it all started when they were in the car, the detective's car, and then he said he was talking about the restraining order or something like that for sexual assault or something like that, and then that's when the dad got caught. So I thought, oh, of course. I immediately realised if it runs in the family, but the dad hasn't got it, the dad must be the one committing these murders. Then that would make more sense, and he shot him in the head. And I don't know if they caught him I don't think they caught him. I think no, he was in the police and he shot all these police officers because he went to defend to kill his son too. Blah blah. So the son actually shoots him in the head at the end of the tape. I shouldn't be giving all this away, but it's such a great movie. I mean, all of you know my movie reviews by now. To not really watch my videos before watching the movie. You should watch the movie first, don't watch my videos. That's what I always say. And then I forgot what the last tape was. Oh my, that's that's pretty, soppy of me. There was another tape, however, which I completely forgot about. I forgot to mention this. This woman had put on a headset because she said she was talking about God and Satan and what that stuff, and she just summoned the devil through virtual reality. Now, for me, that's pretty crazy. This movie is wild in every department. I'm just trying to think about what the very last tape was, but you can see it towards the end when she tries to summon the devil, whatever, through this virtuality. The whole entire face was just messed up. It's mental. This movie's actually pretty crazy. I'm just trying to fathom what the last tape was now. there's too much happening. There's not happening. It's just hard to describe all these tapes. I had a good memory of this, but I'm not sure remember most of it. You got to watch the movie for yourself though, and let me know what tape I missed out, because I know I missed one out somewhere. And then at the end, it shows them in the laboratory. Now, obviously, in common horror movies, everyone just dies basically, and that's what happens at the end here. The guy says, I think we should pump a drink to this creature right here. I don't know why. Don't know what made it. I don't know what made that a good idea. But then he gets someone in, and then doesn't get to inject them. It has like tentacles or something, like hooks, and they grab them and just immediately just takes him. But then, if that was me in that situation, and if I was like one of the laboratory, one of the workers, I would have closed the door immediately on that creature. I wouldn't bother just leaving it open. That's what people make mistakes in these horror movies. It's so typical of a horror movie to have, leave the door open for the creature to escape out. No, I would close that and lock it fully. And then that's what they did, right? That's what they didn't do, was close it, and then they start running off along with the cameraman, obviously. And then the guys hamper it when they go through the door, and then the creature starts attacking them. The creature actually goes for them. So this movie's, I don't know what it is. I love the VHS franchise. Of course, nothing could compete with Saw, Insidious, Paranormal Activity, the Fear footage. Nothing could compete with those movies. But this movie right here is unique. There's something unique about it where it's found footage, and it's quite wild. It goes from A to Z very quick. It's like you hear part of the story, and then 10, 12 minutes in, boom, it gets you. Somehow movies have a build up to this. This one just completely just has a few storylines, and boom, goes straight in for it. Now, I don't know if there was another tape that I missed out, but if you've watched it, please let me know in the comments what part I missed out. But yeah, I think I've said enough as it is though. I mean, I talked about the two tapes connected to each other, so I did pretty well on this. So yeah, the rating part. If I had to give a rating, it would have to be 7 out of 10 as well for this one. I feel like I like the other ones more because there was more of like a story development. I know that this one has a story as well, and has a story to it as such. But not, I mean, they connected the tapes, but in the other ones, there was different kinds of like different types of themes in each tape. Which like the first one is my favorite one because I think it was no. There was a second one that was my favorite because it had aliens in it, it had a zombie, it had a skinwalker, I think, it had demons, it had different ones in each tape. That's what I love. And people go in and they view the tapes inside their warehouse or inside somebody's house. That's what I thought was going to happen here. This one was more different. I don't know what it was. It didn't have the same type of theme it did in the other one. It was just still wild, but it just needed to be similar to the other VHS that have been used. That's probably why I've given it a 7. I probably would have given it a higher, but it's hard to say. It wasn't as wild as the other ones are. It wasn't as it was gripping. It wasn't as wild as it has been the other ones. That's just my opinion. It's quite difficult to rate this type of movie. But 7 out of 10 I think is a fair result. It's above average as usual. And a bit of humour at the end of the movie. The creature starts doing what, I think what women do is like there's yoga push-up pose or something like that. I don't know, it was just something funny at the end where it was mimicking of like a tape, a fitness tape. I mean, I didn't laugh at it. I just find it, it's just quite a humorous thing to have at the end. Quite a bit silly for a movie that isn't got comedy in it. So, I don't know what they're trying to do at the end. They could have revealed more to it. But yeah, I kind of knew what the ending was going to be. They're going to die from something at the end. It's kind of common. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, comment below, share with everyone you know, subscribe and hit the bell notification bell. I shall see you in my next video.